Now, I saw this disturbing video, which I'm gonna post on Instagram, on Facebook, and I'm gonna put it on YouTube in the shorts. And let's see if YouTube keeps it. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes YouTube takes it down, but they still keep it on Instagram, Facebook. So I'm gonna put it up regardless on Facebook and Instagram, but I hope that they keep it on YouTube. But anyways, I came across this disturbing video. You have this teacher who asked this child, a child, not even a teenager, not even a grown adult, a child, what do you want to be when you grow up? The teacher asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? The kid said, a murderer, because I like killing. My brain tells me if I like killing or not. I like killing because when I first watched my grown-up killing show, I started to like killing. And then my brain started to tell me what to do with killing. I want to kill everybody in the world except for my family because they just didn't do anything to me. I just like killing. Then the teacher asked him, what about me? Even me? He told her no. Then she asked him, what did he want to be when he grows up? She asked him again. And he answered the same question. He wants to be a murderer. This is very disturbing, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, parents need to raise their children better. Parents need to raise their children better. This is why it is very important to pay attention to what your children are watching. You have to watch what they're watching. You have to watch and pay attention to the music that they're listening to. You have to watch nowadays the video games that they're playing, who's in their friend groups in the video games, who's chatting with them in the video games, social media, who's their friends online, who's the influencers and people who they're following. You have to watch what they're watching, what they're listening to. You have to. Then you also got to watch who are their friends in school and all this stuff. Like, who are their friends? Who are their friend groups? Who are they too? He said, I wanted to be a murderer. I like killing. And it started from a killing show that he saw. Then he said, my brain started to tell me what to do with killing. His brain. TV, movies, music too, but it's all predictive programming. Like, I know, like, when you older, mature, even when you go through the spiritual warfare, like what you go through, when you unplug, you still can watch things because of the entertainment. You watch things, but you understand and you see what you see. But for a kid, a child, like, not understanding what you seeing, they can't see the stuff out, like, they can't see it yet. Like, you know what I'm saying? They can't. They can't. Predictive programming. Predictive programming. And TV shows, movies, music is all predictive programming. But it's also spiritual too. It ain't flesh. It's spiritual. I told y'all, if you don't move your lips, if you don't talk, right? If you don't talk, if you don't move your lips, you can still hear yourself speak in your mind. You can have a full-blown conversation in your mind without moving your lips, and you hear yourself speak. Hello? In your mind, your thought. That's your soul. That's your spirit. Just like that kid, right? Oh, my brain was telling me his thoughts, his mind, because of what he was watching. I don't even know what kind of show he was watching. And I don't know what he was watching. It could be a movie, a TV show. Well, he said a show. And then it goes deeper than that, because it could be also not only a show, but the internet, right? Snuff videos, stuff like that, like what kind of websites for raw, you know what I'm saying? Snuff videos, real gore, real stuff that happens in the world, like the stuff that the media won't show, but it's on the internet with certain websites. Kids, once they get locked on that brain, the mind, the programming, he said his brain from the stuff he started to watch. That is very alarming for what he said. Maybe he didn't kill anything, but you still gotta watch that person when they say these things. Keep an eye, because remember, when it starts off with a serial killer, not saying I don't know his story, but just pay attention to just him saying that stuff alone is an alert. But pay attention to what he said. That's the brain, the program, and the TV shows, why it's important to watch what they're watching. So maybe he didn't do it, right? But it's what he's watching. Now he's fascinated. Now his brain, the spirits now is locking into him, putting that on his mind. Doors are opening, inviting that in. The murder, the death. Those are spirit. That's getting into him now from what he's watching. Then you have certain people, not only him, certain people who do it, but they start off with animals. Then they get bored. From animals, then it goes, let me try a human. From animals. And then when you look at these stories from actual serial killers like Ed Gein and all this stuff, all these serial killers and their fascination, that started with porn. Or what they say, corn, right? Corn, doesn't matter. But it started with that. That's also a way to lead to serial killers too, with porn. See the programming your mind. This is a child. This is a child talking about, I want to be a murderer. I like killing. Probably never killed nothing in his life. I like killing. I want to be a murderer because of a TV show that I saw. And my brain started to tell me. That alone is already letting you know. The spirits now opening that door. It's planting that seed, the darkness, coming into that mind. Now, see, that's how it is. Those seeds, those voices, that extraness. I told you, it's real. Don't move your lip. Don't talk. You hear yourself speak when you don't. Yeah, nigga. That's the spirit realm. That's your soul spirit. Yeah. So if you think the Most High, the light, ain't gonna speak to you like that too, you think the dark ain't gonna do it too, and plant seeds for them too? Light, dark, hello. They both speak to you. Who you listening to, who you follow, they both speak to you. Both sides. That right there is spiritual from that child. He literally said, I like killing, and it started from a killing show that he saw. Then he said, his brain started to. That should wake you up right there. His brain. That's the programming. So ask yourself with these stories, like the Amityville horror story, even though they do it with these movies, but that's a true story. The Amityville case, that man that killed his family, he said the devil told him to do it. And not only that story, because there's a whole bunch of other stories too out there that, where people heard voices in their heads telling them to act out and do what they did. That ain't fake. It's MK Ultra, B2K, voice to skull. Voices. It's real. People hit. There's darkness, there's light. The spirits plant seeds too. They talk to you too. They manipulate. That kid said he saw a show on TV, a killing show, and his brain began to tell him to kill. That was the seed being planted. That was the programming he was watching, man. You gotta remember, this battle is not against flesh and blood. It's not against a human opponent. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 2. It's not against a human. It's not. It's not. Now you understand why you see the youth act out the way that they act out. The young teenagers, the kids, because of the music they're listening to, the shows they're watching as well, in the movies, the books as well that they're reading, all the stuff. The youth, the kids, the teenagers, the babies. Just like that story that happened recently, that's all over online too, about that pregnant woman, a mom and her child that were attacked and got jumped by kids. Now I don't know if that's in Chicago, but y'all know what's going on. That story surfacing. A pregnant mom and a kid, her child, they got jumped by elementary school kids. They were kids. Not grown up kids. Young kids beating on a grown woman who was pregnant with her child. Kids beating on her while she's pregnant. And you can see that boy protecting his mother, putting himself over around her stomach area so he can take the blows while they're getting blows to protect the baby. While kids is beating on them and speaking crazy. Elementary kids. Then you see this child talking about, I want to be a murderer. I like killing. A TV show also because of my brain. My brain's telling me. A TV show. I want to be a murderer. Chicago, pregnant mom, kid gets jumped by elementary kids. Gets jumped. You think those kids ain't programmed? With the shit that they seeing? And the music that they listening to? Programming, mind control. Do I gotta break it down to you about the word government? Break it down. Government. Government, right? Govern means control. Ment means mind. Control, mind. Look at your algorithm. Look at social media. Look at the media. The media tells you, right? What to like, what not to like, who to like, who not to like. I don't like this person. I don't like this person. I don't like this. Then you watching that, feeding your mind and brain. Is either it's going to be for the good, dark, positive, negative. Some people be watching movies and for so long that sometimes these people who watch these movies think that they're that character or living that life. It's because of the programming. Now you thinking you that character that you watching. You thinking. Now you're going to start talking like that character. Because you're so fascinated with the movie and the story that's your movie. You watch it so many times. You thinking you're that character. Now you think your life is based off what you're watching or that. Because of what you program in your mind. Think about that, man. And that was crazy. That happened in Chicago with those kids there. Elementary kids, man. And you got to blame it on those parents with all those kids. You have to blame the parents. It starts in the home. The parents. Blame the parents. Their parents. You know why those kids did that? I blame that Zeus network. That show Baddies. Not only Baddies, but all those kind of toxic shows, especially the stuff that be showing up on social media with these shows where people always fighting one another in these toxic shows, fighting, competing with fighting, talking crazy. Nigga, that's scripted, that's entertainment, that's programming too. Look at Aaron the plumber, right? Aaron the plumber. That guy was on that Zeus Network show, and he got away from it, and he had an interview talking about how he saw how evil and demonic and the energy was on that show, that they tried to sacrifice him on that. And he saw certain things. That came out of Aaron the plumber's mouth. He started to talk about that from this network show that he was on. Constantly fighting all this stuff. He got away from all of that. He got away from it. And he started to talk about how toxic it was. Let's not forget that certain people as well, when he was on that show, not saying Baddies, but just that network alone, Zeus, but he was on that show, certain people from the show started to die. To die. People die on these shows, right? He started to say how they almost tried to sacrifice him. Aaron the plumber came out of his mouth. How they almost tried to sacrifice him. And that was his discernment that he caught on to it and left. But other people died. That's the toxic. So think about that. If they jumped that mother and that kid, I blame it on the parents, that network, with all that toxic stuff that they're showing on social media in these shows, and kids is watching that, programming their mind with violence. And the way how they speak, the language how they speak and how they act and how they dress, that's the imagery that they're seeing in the movies, from the rap, the artists, the trap music, these toxic shows, how they dress, how they look, ski mat, like all this stuff is from what they're seeing on TV shows, music. It's programming their mind. Some of them don't even live that life. Parents still together, great home, and they thinking that way. You feel me? They're thinking that way. Like 8 Mile. Remember 8 Mile? And Clarence's parents have a real good marriage. Clarence, at the ending of 8 Mile. What was his name? Papa Doc, something like that? Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Clarence. Yo, he ain't know what to say. Eminem ripped him apart. B-Rabbit. But you saw that? He studied him, but he had a good life. So the good life that he lived, his parents still together and all this stuff. But he's acting and rapping like he's that thug. But so what makes you think about all these rappers now? Perfect home, perfect family, still together. Some of them don't even live the lifestyle that they rapping in their music. Some of them don't even do the drugs that they're promoting in their music. Some of them don't do it at all. They don't. They don't touch it. Then you got Cardi B, right? Don't forget the video she did. She playing her music, and you know how her music is vulgar. Her daughter stepped in. What she do? On cue. What she do? Turn her own music off when her daughter came in. Turned it off. But y'all out here, parents, seeing what's happening out here in the outside world, parents blame it. It starts at home. Parents is watching this with their kids too at home, listening to this kind of music with their kids too. It starts at home, and they're watching these shows with their kids. And sometimes, that's what I'm saying, you also got to watch what your kids is watching, because sometimes parents, they might not watch that with their kids. They might not even know what their kids is watching, but their kids is watching that, being shown that. And some parents are watching it with their kids. It goes both ways. But you still got to monitor and watch them. That's why you see why they are the way they are. Why people act the way they act is because of the programming from what they watching and what they seeing on TV and shows, music. That's why. Some of these people ain't about that life. But it's because of what they seeing that they think it. Then you got some who do have that rough life, but you got people out here who inspire people, but they do it for positive reasons, not negative. Positive. You know what I'm saying? It goes both ways, good and bad. But when you see all that toxic negativity and the stuff that promotes on TV too is toxic, that's programming too. So again, there's good, there's bad, light, there's dark, from everything. It is. It is. Even though it's scripted entertainment, but come on. It's programming. It's programming someone's mind to that, man. And you'd be surprised how the parents that be watching all that and listening to that with their kids, man. I'm telling you. They're not only that, it's how the parents treat their kids too. Let's not only talk about it's how they treat them and talk and yell at their kids and talk to them like they be cursing their kids out, putting word curses on their kids and talking to them crazy. Treating them crazy. Yeah. You effing be mothers talking to their daughters that way, or fathers talking like you effing be. I beat the like if they talking to a stranger street, but they be talking to their kids that way. Bang, beating them too. That does things too. Trauma, like you start planting seeds. It starts in the home, man. Parents be It starts in the home too. Parents be doing what they doing too, man. You gotta blame the parents for that too. You have to. Parents be at fault too. Not only children, parents. And then you got and then the spirit realm, of course, because it all starts within the realm. The demons, the fallen angels, the devil, right? And the darkness that tries to plant the seeds early in the shows. Just like babies and kid TV shows. Like Blue's Clues and all that, like those, like Dora the Explorer, like shows like that for children, like toddlers and kids. Don't be thinking that people don't be, they be pushing that too. That's why they be pushing certain agendas on children's shows, and they try to sneak it in. Oh, you heard that? See, they try to sneak it in the programming, sneak it in those shows early, and those kid shows. They sneak it in. That's why you even gotta watch what your toddlers is watching. You have to. I don't care even if it's a baby show with music and there's a person singing. What is being sung on the song? What's the message behind it? I don't care about the colors because they draw the kids with the colors, but what's the message? What are you saying in the song? What's the chant? Your witchcraft chant. What's the chant? What's the trance you're trying to put in the program? What's the chant? Trance. What are you saying? What's your programming? What are you doing? What's the message? And they do that in babies and kid shows too. They sneak it in. Thank you. Y'all know what's up already. Niggas know too. They know who's in control. So what's up? But it's the truth. Ain't no lie. So yeah. Gotta pay attention to what your kids is watching. Not only teenagers, children, but even your babies and toddlers too. Everything. You have to pay attention to what they watching. Huh? If this kid said he wants to be a murderer because of a show he saw and his brain wanted him to do so, now think about all the little innocent kid shows. I'm telling you. Y'all parents better start being alert. Start being alert on your kids, man. If you want better for them. Remember, TV, music, movies, the environments can try to influence and change someone to being something that they're not. Nor did that person want it to be. But they're just following. They're following the trends and the things that they're seeing. They're following it. This is why you see out here the vocabularies. All that everything that people say and do out here is because of the programming. Who started it? What they following? The influence. The trends. The styles. Who's the artist? Niggas copies. They don't know how to be original or be themselves. They copy. They copy. But again, it's the programming. It's what they're watching. This is why they are the way they are, and this is why you see what you see out here. But it's also spiritual, light, dark. Seeds got to be planted. So it's either the good seeds or the bad seeds. And it's clearly from what you're seeing with this kid. How the dark is already trying to mess with that, but the Most High is the one who's going to come to that and claim that. Period. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go, so that when he is old, he will not depart from it. This is why you got to pray over your children and pray for a hedge of protection over them. You got to understand, children and animals are very spiritual, right? With all this energy, like children, babies, they are. This is why when you are on a high frequency, animals come close to you, children, people, both good and bad energy. Everybody comes your way. But when you're a person who develop, you see, feel, you see. But babies, children, kids, they see. They see. And animals too. So pay attention to your kids. Pay attention to your animals. Because they can sense and feel bad energy and can see through that realm. You heard that, right? This is why certain kids cry around certain people. That's why they don't want to be around certain people. They don't want nobody touching them. They feel uncomfortable with certain people. That's why certain animals act a certain way with certain people or around them. Pray for a hedge of protection. Because I told you, spirit realm is real. Witches, warlocks, real thing, right? Light, dark. You think in the daycare, you don't think you got dark in there too? Witches, warlock, like for dark reasons? And you think those kids don't sense that and feel that from certain teachers? Hello? Why you think that there's kids who got favorite teachers, and why there's certain kids who don't like a certain or specific teacher? Nigga, that magic is real. Witchcraft, that joint is real. And they in the workplace too, nigga. But those kids see that. This is why these videos be getting exposed. And when you see these teachers or people act out how they act out, when they grab kids, that's a witch. That's his bad spirit trying to get their energy too. But they go after the ones. See, you don't want. They go after the ones that they know that nobody's praying over those kids with hedge of protection. They know, but they can feel it too. I guarantee. I promise you. Ask an ex-witch or somebody who's spiritual. They'll tell you, "Oh yeah, I can't touch this one. I can feel that. I can see through that. Oh, I can't touch this one. This one's marked protected. Oh, somebody's praying over this one. Oh, this one. No, no. Ask. You see. I'm telling you. You gotta be more spiritual. You gotta be more alert. It's real. It ain't fake. And they're in the workplace, man. Everywhere is all spiritual. And it's also with the TV and the music and all that. So what you see right there with this kid, I'm going to post the video. But I had to break it down with this video. So when you see it, you'll be like, yo, it makes sense. Because it is. Ain't no lie. Niggas know what I'm talking about. Everybody knows that. Come on, man. Spiritual people know. You know what's up? I told you. This battle ain't against flesh and blood, not against a human opponent. Once that is open, once, they live, when you got that on, and the Most High removed that, when you see things from a spiritual, that's what I told you, you stop looking at things from the flesh. Once you see things from a spiritual aspect, once you see things from a spiritual, you're no longer looking at this world and people the same no more. It's over. That's out the way. That's over. You seen what you seen, all the weird stuff around you, how people act with the energy, you seen what you're seeing out here when you step outside, when you go back into the crib, all the weird stuff that starts to happen, or people be around you, or how you see what others don't. Like that's it. That normal life that you had and all that stuff, when you was that way, it's over. You are now on that other level. That level where you see. You hear all that banging and all that stuff? Come on, man. Y'all know. Let that be a lesson. Let that be an alert and an awakening for you, for what you're seeing out here. But that kid's story right there is prime example about the programming. Watch what they're watching. Because look at what it can do to somebody's mind, especially a child. Now, you as a grown adult, you can watch what you see to talk about it, or maybe you might want to watch it just to watch it, but you can understand, all right, this is spiritual. Let me pray. Don't let nothing come through. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't live in like this all the time. You know what I'm saying? You watch what you watch too, right? But you older enough to understand and see, right? Kids, toddlers, babies, like you know what I'm saying? Some people they don't know about this. So these niggas is just watching things, coming to an agreement, reading books, playing Ouija, like niggas is doing things, not believing, not knowing, and they opening themselves up to this stuff. This is why you see what happens to people, why people do what they do. So when you see the weirdness out here, spirits, that's it. Spirits. For different reasons, but it's spirits. To the next video.